All right, so I'm going to try to keep this video super short. We're going to talk about substitution, and the EQ is how will substitution help me simplify expressions? Okay, so let's talk about what substitution means. Think about if I'm not in class one day. Who comes in my place? A substitute, right? So all we're going to do is we're going to take the x and the y out, and we're going to put something in their place. And over here it tells us when x equals 5 and when y equals 2. So when we take these numbers out, or the variables out, we need to make sure that we're substituting in these numbers with parentheses around them. So we have 3, and then we have, instead of x, we're going to put a 5 squared plus 5, and then we're going to take the y out, and we're going to put a 2 in its place. Now let's take a look at the problem. We need to ask ourselves, what does PEMDAS tell us to do first? And this is where a lot of students are going to make this mistake. Do not be the person that makes this mistake. You must do exponent, well, parentheses, but we don't have any parentheses. You must do exponents before you multiply. So over here, take a look, we have 5 squared. You must do that. Do not do 3 times 5 and then square it. It's a lot different than 5 squared times 3. So 5 squared is 5 times 5, which is 25, plus 5 times 2. Okay, now we do 3 times 25, which is 75, plus 10 gives us an answer of 85. Okay, let's look at problem number 2. It says r plus 3s squared when r equals 4 and s equals 1/2. So we're going to take the r out, and we're going to put a 4 in its place, plus 3 times 1/2, and then squared. So looking at this, what does PEMDAS tell us to do first? It tells us that we need to do exponents first. So over here we have 1/2 squared, which is 1/2 times 1/2. When we multiply fractions, you multiply across the top and across the bottom, and we get 1/4. So now going back to the original, we have 4 plus 3. Again, this is times 1/4. Now we do multiplication before addition. So I'm going to put the 3 over 1. I'll do it over here. 3 over 1 times 1 over 4 equals 3 over 4. So we have 4 plus 3/4. Now when we add fractions, what do we need? A common denominator. In this case, our common denominator is going to be 4. So I'm going to multiply this by 4, the bottom, and I'm going to multiply the numerator by 4. 4 times 4 is 16 over 4 plus 3 over 4 equals 19 over 4. Now this is a review from 4th and 5th grade when we were adding and subtracting fractions. You got to remember what the rules were for this unit. Let's do one more, and then you guys can do the rest of the paper on your own. All right, so this problem we have c divided by d plus 2c squared when c equals 6 and d equals 3. So let's take the c out, and we're going to put a 6 in its place, divided by d, which is 3, plus 2 times 6 squared. We need to take this one step at a time. If we don't, we're going to make a mistake. So first, PEMDAS tells us to do parentheses, which we don't have anything that we can do inside of them. So we do exponents next. 6 squared. 6 squared is 6 times 6, which is 36. So let's bring everything down. 6 divided by 3 plus 2 times 36. Now we do multiplication and division. Whichever one comes first is what we do. 6 divided by 3 is 2. Plus 2 times 36. Then we have 2 plus 72 equals 74. Okay, I want you guys to finish up the rest of this paper. If you have any questions, you can work with a partner. If you guys can't figure it out, come and see me and I'll help you. And don't forget to put your name on your paper, please.